Welcome to the Explainer. You know those slick, modern websites you use every single day? Ever stop and wonder how they're actually put together? Well, today, we're going to do just that. We're going to build one from the ground up, piece by piece. So here's our game plan. We're going to start with this really cool idea of digital Legos. Then we'll actually build our first pieces, a pop-up box and a login form. After that, we'll make sure they look great on any screen, and finally, we'll add a little safety net for when things, don't go as planned. All right, first up, building with digital Legos. This is, and I'm not exaggerating, the core philosophy behind pretty much all modern web design. It's an absolute game changer for how we build clean, powerful apps today. And this is the heart of it. Instead of thinking of a website as this one giant, complicated mess of code, we think of it as a bunch of simple, independent building blocks. Like Legos. You put them together in clever ways to build something amazing. Thinking like this makes everything so much easier to manage, update, and grow over time. Okay, so let's get our hands dirty and see how this actually works. We're going to start by building one of the most common UI elements you see everywhere, that versatile pop-up box, or what developers call a modal. So what exactly is a modal? Well, it's just that little window that pops up on top of the page, grabbing all your attention. The key here is to think of it as a flexible, empty box. You can put almost anything you want inside it. An important alert, a video, or in our case, a login form. And building one is kind of like following a super simple recipe. Step 1, you create the main container, the box itself. Step 2, you drop in your title and whatever content you need. And step 3, and this is so crucial for a good user experience, you add multiple ways for the user to close it. Hitting the X, clicking on a grayed out background, or even just pressing the escape key. Now, I want you to look at this one little attribute right here. It might look like a bunch of technical jargon, but aria modal equals true is incredibly important. This is basically a direct order to screen readers, telling them, hey, ignore everything else on the page and focus only on this pop-up. It's one tiny line of code that makes the web way more accessible for millions of people. All right, so we've got our container, right? Our first Lego brick is built. Now let's build another Lego to snap right inside it, a dynamic login and registration form. And this is where the power of components just shines. Check this out. We can build one single smart function for our form. If we tell that function we need a login form, it gives us a login title and a login button. But if we tell that exact same code that we need a register form, it spits out a registration title and a sign-up button. It's just so efficient. No repeating code. So our components are built, they're working, but let's be honest, they probably don't look very good yet. So the next step is styling. How do we make our app look polished and professional on any device, from a tiny phone to a giant desktop monitor? Well, the secret here is using something called CSS variables. Think of these like a master control panel for your app's entire look and feel. We set our main brand color, our background color, even our error color, all in one central place. Need to rebrand the whole site? You just change these few lines and boom, the entire application updates instantly. It's incredibly powerful stuff. Most modern design starts with a mobile-first mindset. On a phone, you want things to be simple, clean, and easy to read. So by default, all our content just stacks up neatly in a single scrollable column. It's the perfect no-fuss starting point. So how does it magically adapt for bigger screens? This one line of code right here. This is the magic switch. It's called a media query, and it's basically an if-then statement for your design. It tells the browser, hey, if the screen you're on is at least 768 pixels wide, then you can apply a different set of rules. And here is the result. Just like that, the very same content without any changes to the underlying structure automatically flows from that single column into a beautiful multi-column grid. That's what we call responsive design. One set of content styled perfectly for every possible screen. Okay, let's move on to our final piece of the puzzle. This is that professional finishing touch that really separates a good app from a truly great one. Handling errors with grace. We do this with what's called an error utility. It's really just a simple, reusable function that gives clear, helpful feedback when things go wrong. So if you type in the wrong password, the app doesn't just crash or freeze. No way. Instead, a helpful little message pops up that says invalid credentials, all without breaking your flow. A really good error message has a very short and simple life. It appears, it clearly tells you what's up, it hangs around just long enough for you to read it, say 4 seconds, and then it gracefully fades away all by itself. It informs you, but it never ever gets in your way. So after all this, why does building with these digital Legos matter so much? Well, because it makes our app scalable. Adding new stuff is a breeze. It's maintainable. You can fix one little brick without the whole castle falling down. It's reusable. You build a great form once and use it everywhere. And maybe most importantly, all of this works together to create a much more user-friendly experience for everyone. And that really brings us to our final thought for today. We've built these components for the screens we have right now, but this whole philosophy is designed to adapt. So I'll leave you with this question to chew on. As our screens keep changing, from phones that fold in half to augmented reality glasses, what do you think the next must-have essential UI component is going to be?